We're CherryPill, and this is Take a Bow. Curtains rise, a hush descends. Spotlight falls on center stage. Wooden chair comes into view. Leading actor takes his cue. Told these tales of love and war, but not so much to be a bore. Went back to his childhood days. So suddenly the seasons change. Take a bow, leave the stage. Over now, your dues are paid. The great finale, then applause. A heavy curtain hits the floor. Take a bow, it's over now, anyhow. Closing sequence, final act. Footlights, fade, matter of fact. Eagerly he told a joke. Well, he removed his coat, hung his head upon the stand, laughed aloud offhand. Take a bow, leave the stage. It's over now, your dues are paid. The grand finale, then applause. A heavy curtain hits the floor. Take a bow, take a bow. It's over now, anyhow. Closing sequence, final act. Footlights, fade, matter of fact. Across the stage to where I sat, felt so close, a tete-a-tete. Lights grew dim and silence fell as tears began the final tale. There was so much more to say, so much plot still in this play. Left the rest for you to act, so take the stage and give your best. Take a bow, leave the stage. It's over now, your dues are paid. The grand finale, then applause. Heavy curtain hits the floor. Take a bow, take a bow. It's over now, anyhow. Closing sequence, final act. Footlights, fade, matter of fact. Take a bow, take a bow, take a bow.
Welcome to another episode of the Couch Sessions. Next to me, CherryPill. Hey, CherryPill. Good to meet you guys.
Hello.
So to start off with, I always start with this question because they're usually very unique. Your name, CherryPill. Whose idea was that?
It came out of a previous band we were in, and we were looking for a new name, and we all sort of had different ideas. And then something was about cherries, and it didn't quite go anywhere. But when we started up the duo out of the band, because our bassist immigrated and our keyboard player immigrated.
Oh, goodness me. Everyone just left.
Not because of us. Yeah.
Well,
I don't think so.
I'll ask you again later.
And I think just the songs we were writing were bitter and sweet, so CherryPill became,
So, Crystal, you're a violinist, and that's what you do by trade, and it's what you've chosen to do. You've got a corporate background. We won't go into it because this is just not why we're here.
Yeah.
And then you're into the music thing, and that's what you do. And you two are married.
That's right, for a long time, actually.
I'm not going to ask the years. It's once again not why we're here. So that must be a pretty cool dynamic, though.
yeah, I think so. We obviously try have other interests as well, but it's great. It's great to we get to travel together and
Absolutely.
do music together, it's a passport to really, really great things.
Now, it just seems that you've got like a long history, because I asked you earlier, do you have an album out and so on, and you put 3 in front of me, meaning you've been around and you've been doing this a while. How long have you been, let's start with, how long have you been doing this together as the two of you? How long has this project been going?
Well, so we've probably, it's just in excess of about 10 years. We kind of, we're from quite different musical backgrounds. So Crystal from the classical side, I'm more from blues and rock and that kind of stuff. But
I
then
read here you described yourself as a blues country boy, something like
yeah,
that. I thought it was very nicely
I've kind of
written.
like a mixed bag of interests and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's been pretty cool for us to play together because we both stretch each other in different directions, and I've got a lot of musical interests that Crystal doesn't have, and vice versa. So sort of about 10 years ago, we decided to start jamming some stuff together. We mostly did covers and that kind of thing in restaurants and all that kind of stuff, and then just grew into a project where we can do some of Crystal's original music.
Right. So the album, is it a title album? It's CherryPill. That's the album's name as well.
So the album's name is Chocolate Box.
Chocolate
We had a
Box.
a single called Chocolate Box. So that's
Right.
and I guess it was just a nice way of saying it's a collection of songs, like a chocolate box is a collection.
And you never know what you're going to get.
That's it.
Okay, I see what you mean. And how long did it take to put this album together? How long did it take from writing it and conceptualizing it to getting it done to a point where you thought, well, this is the product we want to release?
Too long.
What's too long? No. I've heard 15 years, man. You're not going to shock me. What's the number?
Not quite as bad as that. Probably about two years, I guess,
That's
from when we
fine.
started recording and that kind of stuff. We had a couple of setbacks in that process, but like a lot of the songs have been brewing for a lot longer than that, I think.
So in terms of the songs and who writes them and how does that work? So I'm assuming a lot of this gets written together and you do a lot of this together. The lyrics which you sing, but you also sing, who is there one of you that does one aspect of the music and the other does the other, or how does this work?
Well, Crystal does most of the writing originally on piano, and then she comes up with most of the lyrics, and then she'll kind of bring them to me, and I'll work because I've got to rearrange them for guitar, and through that process we kind of refine them a little bit. So I generally come in a little bit later in the process.
Okay, so it's a together writing process. So in all the time you've been together, would you say how many? I mean, you've probably played a lot, so I'm not going to. We won't go there. What was the most fun? Like, what gig, what venue, what vibe was the most fun for people who have gigged as much as you have?
Well, we recently came back from a tour in Amsterdam and the rest of the Netherlands, and that was a lot of fun. I mean, we basically had to get ourselves around. It was a self-organized tour, so we had to bundle all of our gear into buses and trains and do all kinds of weird stuff. But we played in a lot of cool places and just met like so many interesting people.
I can imagine.
It was a real vibe. Yeah.
How long did you go for?
It was 2 weeks. I was going to say on the trip, probably we had plenty of interesting experiences, but they have this sort of great vinyl store culture, and so we played in plenty of vinyl stores.
Oh,
and
that's
it was
really cool.
really
So it wasn't
cool.
like a pub thing always.
No,
There's different vibes. Oh, but
no.
that's really cool. Because your music's also not only exclusively a pub vibe. It's very like you could play in a coffee shop and it would like fit, which is cool.
I think another cool place that we played on was the Rovos Rail. Somebody phoned and said we've got a group of Japanese tourists and we need to wow them.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
so we took a week and we went down to it was Durban, I think. It took 3 days to get down, and then we played all the way down, and then they got a new batch of tourists on, and then we played all the way back. And I think it was a real. I think music was the passport to
Oh, but that's pretty cool.
to that experience. Yeah.
You're on social media and we can find you there. What's your hashtag, your handle? How can we find you?
It's CherryPill Band.
CherryPill
all
Band.
one word, no underscores, anything like that
Right.
on all the platforms.
Okay, so we'll
Yeah.
find you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
Yeah.
all those. I see. I actually read through your platforms. You're literally everywhere. Also on SoundCloud, and you're absolutely everywhere. So just CherryPill Band.
Cherry Band. Yeah.
So in terms of new music that you're busy with writing, releasing, recording, where are we at? Can we expect a fourth album to the edition pretty soon?
Yeah, so we've written a whole bunch of new songs that we've. I think our first album we recorded first and then played live, and I think we're trying it a different way around, where we're playing them live and refining them that way, and also just sort of seeing which songs work the best. So I think we'll be recording by the end of the year. So, I think next year, 2019, we'll have something new out.
Oh, awesome. So we're looking forward to that. You're going to let us know. But we'll find that on your social media. You'll let us all
Yeah,
know.
we'll let you know.
Awesome. CherryPill, thanks for coming out. And I think your music's really different and the whole vibe is very different. So I'm sure we'll see you at pretty different places as well. So, but we'll follow you on social media. And thanks for coming to the Couch Sessions. We hope to do this again.
Cool. Thanks for having us.
What do you think of railways?
Amazing.
Pretty cool, right?
Very cool.
It's
very
an awesome
cool.
venue.
Walking, it's like a different world in here. So we always have to say thank you to Railways. Thanks, Railways.
Thanks, Railways.
For letting us come take their space. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We're CherryPill, and this is Tears That Flow.
Day was grey when my lover left. Stormy night and the road was wet. Footsteps on the pavement splashed. No more, no more, no more. Footprints on the pavement cracked. In goodbye on the hard tarmac. Blazing heat had the final word. No more, no more, no more. My heart is dry, thirst for tears. With it hope by grassland seared. Oh, to taste the tears that flow. Love, come on home, come on home. Soon no trace of him was found. Rivers dried and the flowers fell. Birds no longer came to call. No more, no more, no more. My heart is dry, thirst for tears. With it hope by grassland seared. Oh, to taste the tears that flow. Love, come on home. My heart is dry, thirst for tears. With it hope by grassland seared. Oh, to taste the tears that flow. Love, come on home, come on home. Oh, to taste the tears that flow. Oh, to taste the tears that flow. Wilted under cloudless skies, tender shoots of love now lie, trampled on the dusty ground. No more, no more, no more. My heart is dry, thirst for tears. With it hope like grassland seared. Oh, to taste the tears that flow. Love, come on home. My heart is dry, thirst for tears. With it hope like grassland seared. Oh, to taste the tears that flow. Love, come on home, come on home. Oh, to taste the tears that flow. Oh, to taste the tears.